Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the slightly above average ship review, and it's Warship Wednesday. I know you're wondering, I normally do uploads on Tuesday, Thursday. Why is it Warship Wednesday? Because I'm on vacation upcoming the next couple of weeks. And quite frankly, I don't play this game enough to have hundreds of videos in reserve like in the olden days. So you're getting Warship Wednesdays for the next 3 weeks while I'm on vacation, back to visit the Northeast United States, my ancestral home. Or, not really. Anyway, that's where I'm from, though. All right, we're moving out in the Navarin. We've already reviewed the Navarin when it was a rental ship. It's been nerfed since the rental, although I couldn't really figure out how without watching my old video, and I didn't do that. So I would say I think the main battery range has been nerfed. Let me peruse the internet and see what anybody can say here. Oh, well, somebody says it's a absolute waste of a campaign ship, according to Reddit. And it was deleted. Blah, 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 blah. These people are saying, oh, I'm going to build into the main guns. I don't like secondaries. But yeah, I think the consensus is on Reddit anyway that the ship has been nerfed since it was a rental ship. Again, I'm going to link my rental review video. But I think the main battery range has been nerfed. I think there's another nerf as well. I think maybe health is down a little bit. Those are just my feelings rather than facts. Facts really don't have a place in this world anymore, as you know. You can just say whatever you want, and it's true. So that's what I'm going to go with in terms of the nerf to the Navarin. It's definitely not more powerful. I think I remember saying in my rental review that it would have been a really crappy review if I didn't have a really good game. And I feel the same way about the review of the campaign ship Navarin. I was struggling to get a good game in this thing. Now, I had some games like 100,000 damage, a couple of kills. Speaking of kills, we get our first kill, first blood, close quarters expert. Kill number 1, destroyer ran afoul of our secondaries. I was struggling to get a really good game. I had some okay games that were 100k damage. The game right before this, 100k damage. But then I had this game, and so I'm not going to show you what the average player can expect. I'm going to show you what you can expect if you have a really good match in the Navarin. All right, so we got our first kill, and that's important, is that you pick up at least one kill you weren't directly trying to get with your secondaries. I think that's a big boost on your way to success in the ship. Is this Crash Zone? I think we're on Crash Zone. It is a domination match. We're moving out. We got lucky in that we were able to dictate the engagements here in terms of what we wanted. So now we're shooting at Amalfi. There's a battleship out there, but it's hiding behind an island. So we never ran into a situation where we got shot at by more than one ship when we didn't want that to happen. There we Citadel the Amalfi. It was kind of at a little bit of an angle. I would say to anybody playing this ship, your big concerns are going to be multiple HEs spamming ships setting you on fire, or when you're down tier, this just doesn't have good armor. So they're going to go right through your bow and Citadel you. So big guns or overgunned main battery ships are going to make your life miserable. So that's French battleships, Russian battleships, the Georgia W, the Georgia Black, the Georgia Candy Striped, whatever other versions of Azerlane Georgia, whatever else they come out with. Another Citadel on the Amalfi there. So definitely no problem Citadel and cruisers. Again, like most Russian battleships we know and love, you will feast upon cruisers. Now, you do have a really nice turret configuration here. I know you think it's not nice. You do have to show a little bit too much of an angle for my taste as the Amalfi gets killed. But you do have 360 turrets. They rotate over the center line, much like our good friend, the Nikolai 1. So here, just by showing a little bit of broadside on the Anhalt, we were able to get all 3 main batteries off, 5 penetrations, and then we swing our tail back in, and his return salvo doesn't really do a lot. Now we're going to switch sides and dodge a stray torpedo. Anyway, we can't shoot. The Anhalt gets killed before we can reload. So we've got 1 kill, 2 assist kills, a couple of Citadel hits, and more secondary battery hits than main battery hits. Very interesting. All right, the caps over here are all ours. I am spotted presumably by a destroyer, so I'm going to do what I have to do a lot recently in battleships is beg for spotting. Our 2 destroyers are humping each other up by an island. So instead of providing spotting in a meaningful way, I mean, they did just spot the enemy destroyer there, but it's a lot better if you guys are spread out. I got to tell you that one of the main reasons I don't play this game as much anymore is because when I'm not in a destroyer, the destroyer play is so abysmal. I just had a bunch of games that I played, and the destroyer play was absolutely abysmal. And I know these guys think they are having good games because they're top 3 on the board in a loss, but they're not. And the sooner that they understand that, you know, chasing a battleship around and hitting it with HE once every 5 minutes doesn't constitute a good game when you can go wipe out the enemy destroyer and then maybe try to torp the battleship with a chance of actually killing him instead of just randomly torping out of smoke screens. I'm not kidding. Really just abysmal. Anyway, back to Navarin while we have a minute. I don't know if I did this with the rental, but I'm going to do it now. AP shell velocity, 793 meters per second. HE shell velocity, the same, 793. AP shell weight and HE shell weight are the same, 1,116 kilos. And your max dispersion, 268 meters. As we're shooting at Delaware, I didn't want to shoot HE, but that's what I had loaded. Got a lot of targets out here, and this is an engagement that I've warned about going into multiple ships, but this is an engagement that I'm going to seek out because the destroyer is dead, so I don't have to worry about torpedoes really. And by bowing on to Delaware, for the most part, I'm not going to have to worry about his airstrike. And we got a wounded Bismarck out there and a Giuseppe Verde. So we're going to use our secondaries. And there's also an Albemarle over there, which I think is 1 ship too many. So when I die, just remember I said there was 1 ship too many, and that's why I died. Torpedoes just miss. I am going to shoot at the Albemarle. I shouldn't have done that. I should have shot at Delaware, who's giving me a big fat broadside. Bismarck has just got a teeny bit left. We are getting a reload, and we're shooting into superstructure, and we finish off the Bismarck, kill number 2. All right, still getting HE spam from Albemarle, and I'm like, please, somebody shoot at the Albemarle, and my teammates are like, nope. Nope, not going to do that. All right, Giuseppe Verdi giving us a little bit worse angle. I'm going to look at Albemarle just for kicks, but it's either Delaware or Giuseppe Verdi, and I am going to shoot at the Delaware. I find these battle carriers very hard to Citadel, but we did get some good hits there on the Delaware. And now the secondaries are really starting to kick in and chunk up the damage. All right, we're going bow on. This ship's armor isn't really built for bow on, but Delaware should have lower caliber guns. Giuseppe Verdi, we're really kind of doing the okey doke on that. High caliber metal unlocked. We pen Giuseppe Verdi. And here I'm thinking, well, if I was ever going to get a Citadel on Delaware, it would be now. Turning at the waterline. There's the salvo. 2 other strong hits, no Citadel, we die. And we grant the enemy a high caliber medal while dying. All right, if you missed my first video, we'll briefly recap the history. In February 1914, work on a new battleship design commenced. Primary focus being to arrange 406mm guns and quadruple gun turrets. The secondary battery comprised 130mm guns produced by the Abukov factory, while the main turrets were positioned along the ship's centerline. Because of the outbreak of World War I, no ships of this design were laid down. So like many other Russian ships, it existed only on paper, and quite frankly, although I'm glad it's in the game, it's nice to have a secondary focused Russian ship, unless you have the wallet or the ability to build out Kedrov specifically for a secondary build like I do, because I have Acer Lane Soviet Russia, as you've seen lately on my channel. If you just have regular Kedrov, then I wouldn't build into secondaries if that's the only choice you have, simply because it's not worth the cost of trading out the inspirations and stuff like that. So longer range ships, that's what I would use Lev Gawler for. And then everything else, or ships that just need better survivability, that's what Kedrov is for. But for me, because I have Israel and Soviet Russia, I'm able to dedicate Kedrov to this ship with a secondary build. And I think I also still use him on Kanaya's Suvorov. And then basically he's been replaced by Israel and Soviet Russia and all the other ships. So I think we're getting near the end of the match here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your comments. We just got that last base capped out, so we own all the bases, and I'm sure this last ship remaining is going to tell himself he's a great player and everyone else sucks, and he could have won this game if his team had just been any good. But I think we also all know that's just not the case, because he's hiding, and if he's hiding, he's not trying to do anything. All right, there he is. He's going to show his ugly face. And here in a minute, there's going to be a salvo that just utterly wrecks his shit. Well, I mean, that one pretty much did. But there's going to be another one that takes him down to nothing. He's not long for this world. Hey, if you haven't checked out my weekend content, I'm doing a playthrough of Fallout New Vegas, anticipating Season 2 of the Fallout TV show on Amazon. We're doing an unarmed build of all the Fallouts. Unarmed melee, I guess, to be exact, kind of like my Fallout 4 build. Of all the Fallouts that are out there, I think Fallout New Vegas treats unarmed with the most respect, gives you the most options, gives you some really interesting weapons. We probably won't be able to buy them all because I have a 1 charisma character going on. But that being said, we're out there in New Vegas right now, just making our way to the main storyline, at least in the episodes that are up right now. So we're going to be going from Good Springs, Episode 1, Prim, Episode 2, Nipton, Episode 3, Novak, Episode 4. And then maybe after that, we might diverge from the storyline into a DLC. Anyway, worth checking out if you enjoy Fallout. Just wanted to pump my own channel there. Also, if you like wrestling, you can check out Vaz Vegas's channel. Really, there are a lot of good content creators out there who are not working for Ouija. So I encourage you, as always, to check out a non-community contributor who is a content creator for this game. All right, here we are on the victory screen. High caliber medal, first blood medal, close quarters expert medal, 157,947 total damage, 42 main battery hits, 4 assisted kills, 2 kills, 8 fires, 2 hits to Citadel, 136 main battery hits. We ended up with 412,670 silver, 5,100 ship XP, 5,400 commander XP in the Navarin. And we are not number one. The Scharnhorst 43 had a whale of a game. He's number one. We're number 2, 3 medals, 2 big kills. Does that say 2558 base XP? We'll say that it does, making this officially a good game. Oh, Mr. Albert Marley, I know you're telling yourself you had a great game. Your team lost. You did not do enough. So stop hiding in the back of the map. You were never going to win. All right. Can we go back into the port, please, Mr. Video Creator? All right, we're going to do that now. After a brief message from Ouija. All right, here in the upgrades, secondary battery mod 2, damage control system mod 2, concealment system mod 1, and a main battery mod 3. Your mileage may vary with that configuration. In terms of the loadout, 5 charges of the damage control party, 3 charges of the repair party, 4 charges of the enhanced secondary targeting. We did not run any booster flags, Type 9 permanent camo, and the Navarin flag. Specs, 69,400 hit points and a 24% torpedo damage reduction with our build. 3 quad 406mm turrets, 16.7 kilometer firing range, 31.5 second reload, 29.5 second turn time, HE shells 5850 max damage, 41% fire chance, AP shells 11,000 max damage. 2 sets secondaries, range of both is 10.7 kilometers, reloads in 5.1 seconds. HE shells do 1,800 shell damage max with a 9% fire chance. You have 18 individual 130s and 8 twin 130s as your secondary complement. And yes, I believe firing range was nerfed, in my opinion. You can tell me in the comments how wrong I am. All right, AA defense, actually not that bad, which wouldn't be realistic for a ship designed in 1914. Your second set of secondaries is dual purpose and does count as AA. Longest reaching AA out to 5.2 kilometers. Your best AA in terms of damage, the 23mm 4U-23 guns, which do 299 damage per second. Maneuverability, 27.5 knots, 770 meter turning circle, 16 second rudder shift time. Concealment, 13.1 on the surface, 10.9 from the air, 14.7 when firing from smoke. Stats, I mean, they're not too much different from when it was a rental ship, I don't think. 0.6 kills per game in this ship, 71k damage average. The 3 kills, I think, was the rental game, the high damage game, and the high XP is the game you just saw. In the Navarin, main battery accuracy, just 31%, feels accurate to what we've been getting in the game, meaning the Navarin is not a very accurate ship out of the barrel. All right, armor viewer, I don't think there's a ton of change here, although I think maybe there was a heavier plate in the front of this above water citadel. Again, don't count on this armor belt to do anything to help you. It's just not big enough. 32mm bow. All right, turrets and barbettes. Again, the turret faces are sloped. The face and sides and rear of the turret are heavily armored. That's great. You'll still get them knocked out and killed. Casemate, putting the casemate back on, it'll just catch on fire. Did I already look at the armor belt? 340 millimeters of armor at the armor belt, but again, don't show broadside. You will go straight to Citadel City. Anyway, that is the armor profile of the Navarin. All right, secondary reach, check. Full circle, check. Hidden, no. No, not hidden. Anyway, here's the commander built specifically for the ship back when it was a rental. We got von Hipper and we got Nikolai von Essen. Maybe I should replace him. I've been thinking about it. Not the one for nuisance. Porcupine in row 2. Volunteer in row 3, which is a unique skill to Russian commanders. Properly meticulous in row 4 and fight fire with fire. I think it's unique. The volunteer. Anyway, that's the Navarin folks out of the rental into the campaign. And let me know what you think in the comments.